Welcome to the Unreal Hour.
Hi there, and welcome to our show. This is the last one of the season. I'm so excited. What episodes are we covering today, Emma?
So this is season 2, House of the Dragon, and it's episodes 7 and 8. They are the Red Sowing and the Queen Who Ever Was.
The Red Sowing was directed by Laurie Perister. I think that's how you pronounce that. New to the direction crew for this season. This is our first one. So, and I tell you what, it was a great episode. It was written by David Hancock. I think David wrote an earlier episode. I can't remember which one. And the Queen Who Ever Was directed by Geeta Vasant Patel and written by Sarah Hess.
Nice.
So overall thoughts for the Red Sowing, Emma?
I thought it was a great episode, actually.
I thought it was fantastic. There was the dragon stuff alone. That was about 25 minutes of dragon stuff, which was actually more than Rook's Rest.
Yeah.
Rook's Rest, felt like a lot more intense because those dragons were fighting and lives were on the line. Well, lives were on the line here too. But, but this had more dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I thought it was fabulous. I really, really enjoyed it. It did not disappoint from the books. In fact, it was better than I imagined from reading the book. So fabulous. Let's get into it. Absolutely awesome episode. So we're going to do things a little bit differently this time. We are going to talk about episode 7 first. Then we're going to do dragon section in the middle. And then we'll do episode 8. We also have some listener feedback.
Cool.
To do for this episode. So can't wait to get stuck into that and hear what you guys thought of the season. So what would you like to talk about first?
Why don't we start with Harrenhal?
Ooh, that was just so fun.
That was awesome.
So yeah, we got that first scene with Daemon and Oscar. What did you think of that? That's like,
I love that little guy.
Yeah. So like the scene indoors when it was just the two of them, and he's like, didn't have any use for me last time I was here.
He was very brave, wasn't he?
He really was. I think he was quietly brave indoors. He really came to life once he got outside.
Yeah, he knew what his plan was and he knew when to execute it.
Absolutely,
which was really cool.
Very clever, very, very clever. He was just, like you say, he knew his plan going in there, and it was executed beautifully. But before we go outside, I want to bring attention to the weirwood chair that Daemon's sitting on. It's a bit burnt and stuff, so it's not intact, but it was absolutely stunning. The carvings on it show a figure on a weirwood throne. So a little bit of a lore drop there, just, not sure how that connects to Harrenhal exactly, considering Harrenhal is like one of the newest castles in the Seven Kingdoms. It's only 130 years old at this point. Mm-hmm. So it's certainly, it's in such a sacred old god type place. I'm wondering if the chair was put there by maybe people that came after Harren the Black, because it doesn't seem like something he would be concerning himself with. But then again, maybe he was just,
maybe it was just for show.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he was quite a showy guy, wasn't he?
Well, yeah, I mean, the Harrenhal itself is a testament to his hubris. So, yeah, definitely. Let's call it a penis extension.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. So I suppose, he's just... Maybe he didn't even, commission it. Maybe somebody else just thought, hey, let's make this really cool chair.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I thought it was fab. My chair's creaking here, people. But, yeah, it was absolutely great. House of the Dragon are just lore dropping everywhere. I love it. But we'll save that for episode 8. Right, anyway, moving on. Before I get too excited and blow my top. Also, as they walk out into the thing, we get the heart tree. And there was a really good making of in the behind the scenes. Did you see it?
I did, but I've watched so much.
Ah, right. Okay. So in the behind the scenes, they showed you how they they carved all this tree out of polystyrene and everything.
Yeah.
And then the extra branches and stuff are CGI added on afterwards. So they just built the base of the tree.
Are we going to the face?
We're going to the face. For those of you that don't know or didn't watch the after show or didn't recognise it, the face in the heartwood tree is George R.R. Martin. It is amazing. It is so cool.
I'm going to say that I didn't notice when I watched it.
No, me neither. Absolutely not.
And even when I watched the after show,
I still
had to look and squint and go,
I'm like, I know that face, but who is it?
Yeah, okay.
But once they said it was George, I was like, that's it. I see it now. But when they were, Ryan was teasing, they weren't going to let on, figure it out for yourself. And while all that was going on, I was like, who is it? I know that face.
Is it Matt Smith that says...
Yeah, I think it was Matt that eventually said it was George. Yeah. It was a few different people all teasing for a second, and then I think it was Matt that dropped it was George, which was absolutely fab. I love those little details. That's cool. So that takes us out into the courtyard for some Riverlands justice. Would you like to hear a clip?
Oh, yes.
Excellent.
In the deepest darkness comes the dawn. A new lord, a new beginning. Let us put all the old unpleasantness behind us.
Be welcome, my lords. And you have my thanks for answering my summons. I know I'm not the man my grandsire was, but I hope to begin well and go on from there.
Well said. One thing is clear. The Rivermen honor the old ways and abide by tradition. Here then is tradition. Grover Tully is dead.
Just loves the sound
Lord
of his
Oscar
old
raised
voice.
up in his place.
Voice, eh?
You have been summoned here to swear anew your fealty to him, and as his bannermen, answer his call.
And what would that call be?
In his wisdom, he has pledged his house and yours to me.
Lord Oscar, for generations we have been guided by the judgment of your forebears. Why should we now follow a boy younger than my own sons, when you will align with one who will desecrate the innocent to reach his aims?
I did only what was necessary, my lord. And I now deliver to you the traitor Amos Bracken and his son.
No more traitor to his land than you, Willem Blackwood.
I take to heart your words, Lord Piper. And I agree, I am young. And I have no love for Daemon Targaryen. He has dishonored himself and the crown with his comportment here. Nevertheless, having so little experience to guide me, my best course is to defer to the oath my grandsire swore to King Viserys when he named Rhaenyra his heir.
Wise choice.
Yep.
I see no reason to cast aside loyalty, no matter how loathsome I may find her representative, the prince.
King. Mind your tongue, boy.
I love the look on little Oscar's face as he walks up to Daemon here, just staring him down. So brave. And Simon's face during this whole scene is brilliant.
Or not.
You tell him, wee man, you tell him. Absolutely loved it.
It was a great scene.
It really is. I mean, Simon's face is just, he just cracks me up. He doesn't have to do anything. He just has to stand there, and I'm just, he's just brilliant. Love him so much. So yeah, I love the way Oscar Tully's just come in and went, okay, well, since I'm so young and I know nothing, we'll just stick with what my granddad said then, eh?
It's total Jaehaerys Targaryen vibes, though.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that, but yeah, that was what young Jaehaerys was like. He came along and went, right, okay, well, you all think I'm young and stupid, but
this is what's happening, guys.
Yeah, he's just brilliant. Definitely taking a shine to young Oscar here.
Yeah.
Shall we hear the second part of the scene? Because this is the best bit. Love it.
I am in the end a riverman, and the word of my house stands, even if certain people are unworthy of it.
Oh, he's so brave, Simon. Simon face again. Brilliant.
Your Lord Oscar is bold,
Oh, yes.
but he is perhaps not wrong. I may have been a touch enthusiastic in pursuing my aims. Don't allow my failings to keep you from supporting an upright man.
Lord Oscar, we honour the old ways, as Prince Daemon says. And the old ways call for justice to be done.
Yes. Justice has been done. They who bent the knee to the usurper have been brought to heel. And now we unite before our liege lord and our king consort.
It's just... I mean, I like the Blackwoods as a house, but this guy...
I accept you as my vassal, Willem Blackwood.
He's just using the war as an excuse.
Yeah.
But
Here we go.
I am Lord Paramount of all river houses.
Mm-hmm.
And there is only one answer for the crimes you visited upon your neighbours.
Oh, the face between Daemon and
I
Simon
did only
there.
what his grace, the king, required of me.
It is true that he made clear his base desires, but you did not have to pursue such savagery.
He did not.
No.
You did it because you wanted to.
Yep.
Our young lord speaks truly.
Seize him!
Can't fucking do this.
He still thinks he's got a chance.
I
Grace,
know.
command them. I've only served you.
Just tell them to let me go. Tell them to let me go. I'm trying to stay calm here.
Command them.
If his grace wishes to show contrition for his acts, and to prove himself deserving of our banners, he must now rectify his grievous error, denounce your crimes, and dispense justice.
Damon's face is like, oh shit, you got me there.
Simon, oh dear.
Oh dear.
It's like, oh no, this is not good. This is not good.
There's nothing else for it though.
Nah, not really.
No.
Oh dear.
Because you asked your grace, I've been faithful.
See that moment though, Damon's face.
Yeah, I think Daemon's seeing that he's not really that great as a ruler. His decisions have kind of come back to bite him in the arse.
Yeah, well, at least he has the wisdom to see it.
Well, yeah, it's all over his
Unlike
face.
his nephew.
Yeah.
Z.
Plural.
Yeah, it's, his choices really were bad choices there. But listen, Willem Blackwood didn't need much encouragement to go and carry them out. And he was quite clear there are things the crown must not be seen to do. And he wandered around with Targaryen banners while he was committing these atrocities. So he kind of had it coming.
Yeah, Daemon, look, you fucked it and you've just been mentally bested by a child.
Yeah, a
So-
14-year-old.
Yep.
Absolutely. Oh, but he was... It was just... Honestly, that kid has got big brass cojones. Like, he really does. As that moment when he walks up to Daemon and he's like, well, you have an army or not? I just love it. But again, when the second that he turned on Willem Blackwood as well, you could hear it. But I heard it more there when we were just listening to the audio, but the fire in him. He was, I don't know who he was channeling, not his grandfather by all accounts. Apparently he was pretty laid back kind of lord that couldn't keep his people in order, but this wee man, brilliant. Love it. So do you have any other notes on that scene?
Not on that scene, no.
Right. So what else happened at Harrenhal? Daemon had some more dreams.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
And we got to see Paddy.
We got to see Paddy, absolutely. But Beyond Bobag Mark II made an appearance.
Yep.
Because we know that the original one was autographed and sent home with Paddy. So that wig was remade for that. But I love that. Did you notice in the behind the scenes that apparently it was Paddy's idea to do this scene in the full decrepit makeup?
Yeah.
Like the end game Viserys. I love that. That's what he brought to it. Because the scene was already written, but he's like, I want to do this in full
and it
deterioration.
visually hits it home for Daemon. Like, do you want this? This is what this will bring.
Yeah, exactly. Dying far too young.
Death and
He's only in
decay.
his 40s or something. It's just very sad, very sad. Do you want it still? I don't know. I think he might be starting to change his mind. But let's talk about the freaking goat, right? like what the hell is going on with this goat? It seems to be like some sort of indication that we're going into a vision sequence or something. Because we've seen the goat a few times, at least once before. Can you think? I don't know. I think I'm going to have to rewatch the whole season and see how many times this goat pops up.
She's going on goat count, guys.
Definitely. I know I've seen this goat a couple of times now.
You've got to now.
Or maybe it's just because I've seen this episode so many times that I think it's more than 2, but it's definitely 2 at least. Like, what is with the goat? Is the goat significant? Oh, like horned beast and all that. Oh, right, save it for episode 8. Okay. So,
what would you like to talk about next?
What would I like to talk about? I would just go what's next on my notes here. Got Curly, Larry and Mo getting sent to the wall.
Oh, yeah.
For inciting a riot. I think that is a bit harsh.
Yeah.
Not the being sent to the wall bit. I mean, I'll maybe make some men out of them. But the inciting a riot as their crime, I don't feel like they incited it. Well, maybe they did. I don't know.
I don't think that they intentionally incited a riot.
No, they did not intentionally.
They don't really have the brain cells to come up with that sort of plan.
No, they didn't intentionally incite a riot, but their actions caused an already tense situation to get worse.
I think the wall's maybe the best place for them. They are ultimately useless, aren't they?
They are absolutely useless, and the wall will make men out of them.
Yeah.
So, but probably stewards, not rangers.
I shouldn't think so. No.
You don't want to send them.
Maybe cooks.
Exactly. So in this scene, we had Laris and Jasper, what's his name? Jasper Wilde.
Yes.
Talking about the dragon gossip. I love this
They're
scene.
Such grannies. It's so funny.
Know. I love it. So they're like, oh, Rhaenyra tried it at 14. And Sea Smoke almost burned her alive or something. And I'm like, how did they know about that?
Because they're grannies.
Yeah, they know everything, eh? And then when I think it's Jasper says, who else? And Laris was like, well, it is a rather shallow pool. So where did you hear it from? And then he says, my squire, who heard it from a stable hand, who heard it from his father, a fisherman, whose shipmate claims he saw it. And Laris is like, well, you are, of course, welcome to bring this to the Prince Regent, or perhaps this is one of those whispers left to the wind. Best left to the wind, should I say.
I feel like, you know, when they're looking over at Aemond, I feel like Laris just hates him.
Oh, he does.
He hates him. He just looks at him like,
he called him a toad last week. And he did that funny mind game thing with him where he made him think that for a second he was going to be hand.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. That was so funny. I'm still chuckling about that, you know, a week later. It's just brilliant. But yeah, I can see it. Laris is scared of Aemond because, well, one, because he's a scary dude, but because he can't manipulate him.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Everyone else he can
Yeah, it's
work his
Larys'
will on.
superpower.
It is.
And Aemon's immune.
He's completely immune. He's just so screwed now that Aemon's in charge. He had his little claws into everything, and he's lost all his power now. And he's lost his allies as well. Aegon's lying in a bed, and he was pretty much his only ally there.
But he's totally working on getting him on his feet.
He is.
Awful.
He's trying. He's in so much pain. That was brutal to watch, wasn't it? There's not really much to say about Aegon in this episode other than oofed.
Ouch.
He's in such a bad way. But yeah, Larys is really pushing it.
Maester's look, he's not ready for this. And Larys is keep going. Get him up in a couple hours.
And of course, we're jumping ahead to the next episode, that's because he's got plans for him. He needs him moving. Do you have was there any other Larys bits? There wasn't really. I think that was pretty much it. That we see Aegon later on, and that was it. Right, your choice. What next?
Oh, okay. Let's see what I have. Oh, let's do Alicent.
Oh, good, because that's next in my notes. What do you want to say about Alicent?
Well, I think that scene, it is kind of beautiful when she's in the lake. It's so calm and serene in comparison to all the chaos that's going on.
Yeah.
And you can see why a girl would be like, I just need to go and chill in the bath for a bit.
She's finally found a big enough bath.
Yeah.
For any of you guys that like a wee YouTube video on this stuff, there's a David Lightbringer video out there called, I think it's Sin Bathe Pray. And it was episode it was
season 1, wasn't it?
I think it is actually Alicent Hightower is actually hilarious. I think that's what the title is, but the picture says Sin Bathe Pray. And it was round about, it wasn't season 1, it was the beginning of the season. It was round about episode 1 or 2, I think maybe in between them, he released this video where he pretty much called this thing with Alicent, with the bathing and
washing her sins away.
Then more sinning, then more washing, and watch the video. It's quite entertaining, actually. It's quite funny. But she finally found a big enough bath.
And she seems to totally chill in there and be like, okay, I've come to a conclusion now.
Yeah. So, what I wrote, that opening scene, she was very, you could see that there was some deep stuff going on there in her head. She was very pensive.
Getting her wound tidied up, which is in the same place as Rhaenyra. That's what I'm
just going to say. Yeah, absolutely. It's and there was a weird way she looked at it as well, as if she recognised that too.
Yeah.
They now have this matching scars.
There's an absurdity to it.
Yeah, because she's the one that gave Rhaenyra that scar. It's very shade. But then she's like, nothing is clean here.
And the rats scurrying about.
Because they killed all the rat catchers. Yeah. And it's just it's totally minging now. There's rats in the Queen Dowager's rooms that should scurrying about on their feet. Yeah. That shouldn't be happening. But no rat catchers in town. She goes out with Rickard Thorne, is played by Vincent Regan. It's autocorrect has changed it to Reagan here, but it's Vincent Regan. He was in not the White Queen, that was the first season. It was in the White Princess, the second one, the follow-up from it. And he played Jasper Tudor, who is the uncle of Henry VII.
Right.
He was the one that raised them in exile before they came back over and threw those Yorks off the throne. And he was absolutely brilliant in that. But another little throne connection, he played opposite his little love interest in that was played by Michelle Fairley, who was Catelyn Stark.
Oh, right.
Okay. Just another bringing it right back around to to this world again. But I loved him in that. He was really good. So when I saw he was cast in the role, I thought, oh, this is nice. I like this guy. So we'll talk about him a little bit more in the spoiler section at the end. We're going to do a little spoiler bit at the end, talk about some of the things that are changes from the books or potential changes going forward. But we'll save that till the end, so you guys that don't want to be spoiled can just cut it off there and see us next season. Or in fact, not next season, because we'll be back for Dunk and Egg.
Yeah.
Yes, we will. Or A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, as some of you may know it as. So it was weird. It was like this little camping trip. They had a little tent and everything. And
he's like, I'll gather some guards. No.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll get your
handmaidens.
No, just you. Oh, cool. Well, let's go camping in the
takes them
woods
off
then.
into the woods, build a little tent and a campfire. And I was like quite surprised that he let her go off on her own.
Yeah.
Because when we first see them, like, she's coming back to the camp. Surprised, but she obviously was just like, I need some space.
He seems like a stand-up guy, though. He'd maybe feel a bit peepy if he was, like, if she's going for a bath. He'd be like, I'll just wait here, love.
Yeah. Oh, but that was her coming, but like, I think she'd just been for a ride at that point. She was off, or was she walking? I think she was on her horse.
Yeah.
She was on her horse at that point and she just went off. I don't know if she had maybe been for a bath and we just didn't see it until the following day's bath, maybe.
Yeah.
Might have been that. That would explain why we'd leave her on her own.
Yeah.
If it was, that makes more sense, Emma. Thanks for pointing that out. I mean, the scene itself, do you not feel it was set up like a suicide?
Oh, no, I got total Lady of the Lake vibes.
Oh, did you? I got, is she going to try and top herself vibes?
No.
No, I definitely did. Like, I didn't think she was. I've read the book. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure they're not going to kill off Olivia Cook / Alison Hightower at this point in the story. It's just, I didn't expect that would happen. But I was a wee bit worried there for a second. Just for a second or two, I thought, okay. But glad they didn't go there. No suicide, no suicide attempt. Just a big bath.
Yeah, watching the bird.
Okay, do you have any other thoughts or notes on Alison?
Nope.
Well, that pretty much covers the Greens. I don't think anything else was really going on with them this week. Shall we talk about... Let's talk about Corlys.
Nice.
So he has these two scenes with both the boys.
And
the first one with Adam was really awkward. He wanted to say so much more.
Yeah.
And all he could muster was, well done.
It was fairly positive for Corlys, though.
It was. Well, when you put it like that.
I think that was the best he had.
Yes. Yeah, that's the best.
And he was proud.
Yeah, he seems to be able to connect with Alan a lot easier. That was... I think it's the salt and sea thing, I suppose.
Yeah, Alan seems less receptive to what he has to say, though. He's a bit...
Yes.
He's a bit curt.
Yes, he is. And Adam, on the other hand, is just waiting for a word from him.
Yeah.
A moment of recognition, which he's never had. It's the first time he's probably uttered a word to him. And at least it was well done, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I felt it was genuine pride.
I think he kind of likes him.
Yeah, I think he does. He doesn't have to be proud for, though. He's never had a hand in raising him.
No.
But I like that line from Alan. He says, my brother was ever restless, yearning for some sign of his worth. I am of salt and sea. I yearn for nothing else. Possibly a little foreshadowing there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other thoughts or notes on that
No.
topic? Not really. Your choice, then.
Let's go for Jace.
Okay, let's go for Jace.
Jace and his rage.
Yeah, I have this little clip here, actually, so let's hear it.
The lowborn claiming dragons. Was it her idea? Lady Massaria?
Your
saying
enthusiastic
it's her
enough
too,
when
then?
Sir Stefan made his claim.
He was the Lord Commander of your Queen's Guard, heir to the Dunfall. These people are courageous. Mongrels.
Oh. You hear the dragons?
Yeah.
Jace,
They're restless.
think what is at stake.
I know well what is at stake. House Targaryen is the blood of the dragon. If any may lay claim to it, what are we then?
The rightful rulers of the Seven Kingdoms.
And what if one of your base-born, silver-haired dragon riders decides he wants to rule the Seven Kingdoms? Did the Conqueror's dream foretell that?
He's got a point.
He has.
What else would you have me do? Prosecute a war, which we will lose, in which thousands will die. Fly against Vhagar myself? Or perhaps you will fly against her on Vermax. Jace, with these riders, we can end a needless war. I may take my rightful place on my father's throne.
And when you die?
You are my heir.
His wee
Did you
face
think
here.
I would have dark hair?
Oh, can hear it in his voice too. Some great face acting going on from
Yeah.
the wee man here.
When you took Harwin Strong into your bed, did you think I might favour him, or did it not cross your mind?
Viserys.
I'm no fool, Mother. The proof is here for all to see. Yet I may argue my legitimacy to succeed you because I have a dragon. And now you say you'll strip that from me too.
Oh,
She doesn't have a choice.
she doesn't.
That poor boy has wrestled inside his whole life, or as long as he's been aware of his
Yeah.
parentage.
Which
And
is
her
since he was about 10.
response was, when he said, "Am I a bastard?" She said, "You are a Targaryen prince. You are a dragon rider."
That's
and
all
that's
that
what
matters.
that boy has clung to. And now it's, oh, well, anybody can be a dragon rider.
Yeah.
Any bastard can. So obviously in his mind it's, well, any bastard can be sat on the Iron Throne then, can't they?
Well, yeah, that's his problem, and I totally get that. Is that, he can sit there and say that. Sorry, I've lost my chain of thought there. What you're saying about the sitting on the Iron Throne is that later, like when she's not around anymore, and he's trying to stake his own claim, that's a whole new war.
Absolutely. She's having a war when it's rightfully hers.
Yeah.
So what he must think, what chance do I stand?
Exactly. It's like, should we survive this war, there's going to be another one when
Yeah.
I ascend the throne, because people are going to question my legitimacy. And if any bastards riding dragons, then that weakens my claim. And I get where he's coming from, but at the same time,
It's not all about you, Jace.
it's not. But, this is where Rhaenyra's getting a little bit scary for me, in my opinion. She's, I've always said that there is nothing more dangerous than a protagonist who thinks they have God or the gods on their side. That they think they're doing the work of God or something like that. They are the most dangerous protagonists in any story or election. Did I say that? Right, we might cut that. Might not. But yeah, it's so dangerous, and Rhaenyra is kind of getting there in this episode. That's where she's going. Who am I to gainsay what the gods have put before me?
Yeah.
And that earlier scene with Massaria as well, she was oh, what was the word? She was a bit manic.
Yeah.
Our thoughts were very bad. I actually clipped it. Shall we hear it?
Yeah.
So he serves you, and not himself. That it's lucky.
Lucky? Or somehow ordained?
There's dragons again.
Seasmoke chose him. He surely has Targaryen blood in him
Ordained,
somewhere.
you know.
The dragon must sense it. There will be others. We will find riders for Vermithor and Silverwing.
You trust this man?
What choice do I have? He has a dragon. Without him, I have only Cyrax. You may give Aemond a second thought. The question is where to look. Targaryen blood was perhaps too thin in Sir Steffan Darklyn. If I can find others with a more direct line of breeding.
I love Miss Arya in this scene.
Forgive me, Your Grace. But you are better served looking under the sheets and in the wood piles. I once worked in a pleasure house where generations of Targaryen princelings had their revels. There are 80 of their bastard progeny, at least, that are known to me. There are sure to be more. Perhaps some here, on Dragonstone, the misbegotten offspring of your house.
Which is an interesting twist, because in the book, it was Jace's idea.
Oh, okay.
And yet, we've just had that reaction from Jace.
Yeah.
They are as like to serve you as highborn lords or ladies, perhaps more.
But in the highborn houses, there is an ancient fealty. There is honor.
Your royal half-brothers, Aegon and Aemond, whose blood is pure, who wage war against you for your throne. Are they bound by honor?
Yeah, where's their honor?
Very well put, Miss Arya. Very well put.
A common shipwright vows to serve you, while your brothers seek to destroy you. The order of things has changed, Your Grace. Why not embrace it?
For 20 years, the lords of this realm levied insults at my sons behind my back. Well then, let us raise an army of bastards.
I quite like that line.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Fab writing. Yeah, it's a really, weird how they flipped this around. So, it was Jace's idea to look for other dragon riders in a previous episode. I don't know, because we've done 2 together and that stuff, they're all mashed together now. I can't remember which one, 5 or 6.
Yeah, but he was cool with the idea of them being
Steffan
highborn.
Darkland.
Yeah, that's fine. But the bastard things really struck a nerve with him.
Yes.
It struck Rhaenyra in a different way, though.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose it's all about perception from the character, isn't it?
Yeah, I think just with it being different in the books, and I think that they've played up the bastard thing a lot more in the TV show. I mean, in the books, it was heavily, heavily implied that these boys were bastards, but it wasn't really discussed much more going forward, except for the occasional insult thrown. But it was always Septon Eustace said, but then Mushroom said. So you're never really knowing what's true. But this rings true to me, this reaction from Jace. Unlike the idea of him coming up with the idea. Certainly he's holding on to a lot of emotions about it.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. So I like this little turn, this little twist and events there. It's quite interesting. Did you have any other Jace notes / Miss Arya / Rhaenyra?
No, I don't think I did.
Okay, before we move on to the Dragonseeds, the only other note here I have is that Rhaenyra is the worst babysitter ever.
Yeah, she really is.
Seriously, do not put your children's lives in that girl's hands.
No. She has one job.
She is behaving selfish, and entitled. She thinks her bloodline owes her a dragon and that anything else is beneath her, even protecting her younger siblings' lives in the middle of a war. Silly girl. They're really playing this up. I mean, Rhaenyra doesn't really play that much of a part in this part of the story.
No.
She comes into play later on, a lot later on. So I don't know if they're just, giving her something to do, but she's annoying me.
Yeah?
Yeah, she's annoying. Not you. You look surprised there.
Nah. I'm always a person, in every horror movie or sci-fi movie or any movie when there's a kid, and it's always the kid that runs off in the dangerous situation.
Yep.
She's that kid. She's that kid that everyone thinks, how annoying. If you had just done as you were told.
She's Carl from Walking Dead.
Yeah, like none of this shit would have happened. You're such a little dick. Just do as you're told.
That's Carl.
Yeah. Well, this is in every movie or...
it's a trope. Something. You're right. It comes up again and again, and it's Rhaenyra for this.
I don't know if it's because I'm a mum of teenagers or something. I don't know. I go, she's just a kid.
Yeah. I wish she would stop whining. I mean, she was very silently whining. And it was written all over her face.
I thought it was hilarious. The look back and then nobody can see me. Run!
It's hilarious. It was quite funny. I did quite enjoy that part of it. But just her whole attitude in general is kind of annoying me. That scene was funny. Yeah. I liked that scene. And we'll talk about that, Rhaenyra's journey a little bit more later on in our dragon section.
So excited for dragon section.
Definitely. So to get to the dragon section, we have to talk about the dragon seeds.
We do.
So I love the scene with Mysaria giving the note and going to Alinda Massey, and then Alinda running around all over King's Landing whispering in people's ears.
Yep.
I loved it. Absolutely loved it. So cool. I think probably one of my favourite scenes in the whole episode, though, was in the tavern.
Yeah.
With the elf. It's so funny. Shall we play the clip?
Yeah.
Because I love him.
You won't believe this. Word is, Rhaenyra's recruiting small folk to go to Dragonstone.
Oh, fuck that.
Oh, they won't take you anyway. They're looking for Targaryen bastards. Post leave tonight. Hour of the bat.
7 hells off. This is it.
Yeah, a likely story. You've been taken in, lads.
No. The Queen's own handmaid is here, spreading the word.
Well, that's a shame, because I'd have been first in line if it wasn't for my injury. Because my leg hasn't been the same since.
He's saying you can claim a dragon.
The barkeep from the Seven Maesters is going, and 2 of the girls from Mothers. A chance to stick it to Aemond.
And claim a dragon.
Dragon!
Yeah, no, I know. I know. I can't be sure it's all true.
Oh,
I felt sorry for him then.
I did, yeah.
You can't mean that you've been drinking at the expense of all these good people for a fiction?
No spark, no tinder.
They won't be happy.
They'll be very unhappy.
Never live it down.
Never live it down. Come on, Ulf, the time has come.
Come on.
Can I see a little glimmer?
Where is it?
There's the Ulf I know.
Yes.
Yes,
there he is.
There he is. Yes. Wine! Wine for Ulf, the Dragon Lord!
Ulf, the Dragon Lord!
Ulf, the Dragon Lord! Ulf, the Dragon
That is peer pressure at its finest.
Definitely. Oh, it was so funny, though. Fuck that. That's the best line. I keep forgetting that actor's name or what I've seen him in, but I've seen him in British TV many, many years ago. Can't think what, but love that guy. But yeah, that was a really funny scene. It's such a shame though that it's like he's lived for all these years on these stories, and then when push comes to shove, he's like, okay, I'm gonna have to admit this. I don't even care if it's true. Oh, which is such a shame for him because he's like always had that nagging little bit of doubt. So the Do you have any other notes on Ulf?
No, I do not.
Okay.
At this time. I feel like I'm in a court of law. No, no, I do not at this time. No, nothing else on Ulf.
Nothing.
Not yet.
Well, then let's move on to Hugh then. Let's play the scene.
I don't want you to go.
I have to, Kat.
We'll go to my brother in Tumbleton. They'll have food. You'll find work.
I can't ignore this.
I don't recommend Tumbleton this time of year.
I never knew my father. Not much is true. But I did know my mother.
This is very interesting, guys. For those of you who didn't pick up on who Hugh's mother is, pay attention, listen close.
I hid it from you. And I'm sorry for that. She worked in a pleasure house. She was granted more freedom than most because of who she was.
Who was she? Who was she?
And because rich men paid more to fuck a woman with silver hair.
Mm-hmm.
She used to tell me I was no different to her brother's boys. Viserys and Daemon. I was ashamed of her.
That's sad.
I tried to make my way with my own hands. I could not protect you. I could not keep our girl alive.
Oh.
So she's obviously died off screen. That's quite heartbreaking.
And now, we would never want again if I claimed a dragon. They'd make you a lady.
No thanks.
Nah.
I do not care to be a lady, Hugh. And neither do I want to be a widow.
Yeah.
She's lost enough.
Absolutely.
And what does being a lady get you?
Not a lot.
No.
Maybe food, but it's a bit late for that. The Baron's already dead.
Yeah.
Why would she care? That's okay, I'm just going to go to my brother's, earn an honest living.
Yeah. She seems to take the story very calmly.
Yes.
And well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So for those of you that did not pick up on it, Hugh's mother is can be none other than Sarah Targaryen, the prodigal daughter who did not return, the daughter that Jaehaerys sent away, the daughter that was the reason for the second great quarrel, as I recall, because Alysanne wanted to bring Sarah home, and what was Jaehaerys' words again?
Called her a Lysini whore.
Yes, that was it. She was a Lysini whore, to which Alysanne buggered off back to Dragonstone for a couple of years and didn't speak to him again. Sarah Targaryen was a naughty, naughty little girl, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was a riot.
Absolutely. What was her first word again?
No.
Yeah, that sounds about right. She was always pulling pranks and everything. Her older brothers, Balon and is it Aemon? Rhaenys' dad, they thought she was hilarious, but all her sisters hated her. When she was quite young, she broke into the White Sword Tower and stole all the white cloaks from the King's Guard and dyed them pink.
Brilliant.
Oh dear. Oh, funny stuff. Like she was a bit promiscuous as well, though. Now we're hearing about her, more about who she was in her later days.
Yeah, apparently she'd had some favourites, we'll call them.
Yeah.
And King Jaehaerys was a bit pissed off when he had the chat with her and said, have you given your maidenhead to one of them? And she's laughed and said, all three of them think they were the first one. And her dad totally blew his top and sent her to be locked in her room.
I'm sure she escaped.
Yeah, I think she did.
Absolutely. One of the funnest of the Targaryens. She was just a free spirit, let's say.
Absolutely.
She definitely was just looking for a riot. Brilliant. Right. Moving on. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, folks. We may have a wee Sarah Targaryen video coming out in the near future.
Yes.
As well as a few other surprises. So that brings us to our dragon section. Fun-filled dragon section we have this week. Plenty dragon sightings in Westeros this week.
Yep.
Let's start with Rhaenyra and Adam's meeting on the beach.
Wasn't that spectacular?
It was so intense. Just the way it was set up with, the two dragons and the two people facing off.
I love that the dragons are having a chat as well as them having, well, it's really just Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
Saying, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's going on?
That's my husband's dragon you're riding.
Yep.
Definitely. It's so intense. I love the way when Rhaenyra walks forward and Syrax follows her.
Yeah, Syrax has the same look on her face that Rhaenyra does. It's brilliant.
And the way that
Seasmoke seems to be copying.
They're
Adam
mimicking
as well.
each other's the humans' behaviour.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I also just the intensity in Rhaenyra from throughout this episode. It starts in this scene.
Yeah.
She's just got this fire in her that she's never had before. She's been whining for quite a few episodes. Nobody let me out to play.
Oh, the girl's out now.
Oh, she is. And it was just a brilliant scene. And that moment when, Adam kneels down and is like, I'm here to serve you, my queen. This dragon chose me.
Yeah.
And it did. That's what we were saying ourselves last episode, that the dragon chose the rider on this occasion. Very cool.
So cool how they're coming up the beach and there's the sand is moving where the dragon's been. It's really cool.
Really details in the CGI. It's very cool.
There's a really cool bit in behind the scenes where Clinton Liberty's saying about the weather when they were filming.
Oh yeah, it was so cold.
He was frozen.
Wrapped up in his big duffel coat.
He said that Emma Darcy barely flinched. They were so cool. Just no, I'm in the zone. I'm doing this. And he was like,
give me a jacket.
You can't tell at all though when you watch it. It's brilliant.
But when you look at his outfit after that, it's a bit flimsy. Poor people clothes and all that. She's got her robes on. And
yeah, Rhaenyra's well wrapped up for the winter.
Probably well lined.
A good wool jacket.
Definitely. But love that scene in full intensity, and I love that moment. Well, what's the quote? I wrote it down here. She says, "You have done something I feared impossible. I am glad of it."
Yeah.
And then she just gets this smile on her face that you're just like, okay. She's happy, she's definitely feeling something. And I feel like from this moment on, she's just having this, spiritual awakening. She's finally becoming a true Targaryen. But that is, we witnessed a hell of a lot more in the red sewing scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Did you have any other notes on the beach scene?
No, it was just spectacular.
Definitely. Loved it. Loving Clinton Liberty, actually. He is really cool.
Yeah, he is really
I'm
cool.
loving every scene that he's in.
Yeah.
Even that really awkward one with Corlys. His face was telling a story. Really cool. So that brings us to the biggie for the season, I would say, other than Rook's Rest.
Yeah.
This was absolutely outstanding. Yeah. So this really starts with the Dragon Keeper walkout.
Yeah, they are not happy. It's blasphemy.
Yep, they use the word. So I actually transcribed this conversation because it's just,
Brilliant.
I thought it was so intense. So the guy's like, this is an abomination. Rhaenyra, what do you speak of? You sent an andal before a dragon. The judgment was delivered. Now you would send more. And I'm like, well, he's kind of got a point there. The judgment was delivered.
Yep.
The dragon said no. So she says, like, Sir Stephen Darkland was the blood of the dragon. And it was blasphemy. He was no dragon lord, and neither are these. And she replies, and yet the gods have set them before us. There's that thing with the gods again. I've never heard Rhaenyra talk about the gods before, really.
No, she really didn't have much in the way of faith before, did she? And
no.
it was Alicent that was really the one with the faith.
Yes, absolutely.
But Rhaenyra's found her faith in the dragons.
Yes, of your Valyrian faith,
Yeah.
not the Seven.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference. I don't think she ever truly believed in the Seven, but she's finding a reason to believe in the Valyrian gods now.
Yeah.
So then the big speech, he says, you have set them before yourself. The dragons are sacred. They are the last magic of old Valyria in this sad world. They are not playthings for the games of men. The Order will take no part in this. And I get where they're coming from their perspective. They devoted their lives to these dragons.
Absolutely, generations.
Yes, absolutely. These will be descendants from the Valyrians that came over with the Targaryen family.
Yep.
Secrets passed from father to son and daughter, because there was definitely some women dragon keepers in there, from the parents to their children, about how to tame and control. Well, you can't really control a dragon, but to certainly do what they can, light a few torches.
Safely.
Yes. And how to use a suicide knife. But yeah, I totally get where they're coming from.
Sorry, I'm just gone on health and safety in the workplace with the suicide. For goodness sake. Oh dear.
Well, let's hope it was sterile. But yeah, these people are, absolutely outraged by Rhaenyra's choices here. And I don't get why, it's not coming from a political place about nobility or anything. As far as they were concerned, Stephen Darkland wasn't worthy just the same as the bastards that she's bringing in. There's no distinction between them, but they let her have a go once. And the dragons have spoken as far as they're concerned.
Yeah.
So they're just like, nah, we're not doing any more of this. Had enough, I'm out here. And I kind of get it. But at the same time, I love that because of them stepping aside, it gave Rhaenyra this chance to be the Dragon Keeper.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, I've got a clip of Rhaenyra's pitch after these guys walk out.
I used to think I knew what it was to claim a dragon, but I understand now that what I thought I knew is ash in the wind.
What a choice of phrase.
Yeah, they're all hanging on her every word here. It's so intense.
Perhaps it is blood. Or worth. Or perhaps it's something else.
I think it's both. Blood and worth.
And there's something else.
Yeah. That explains Ulf.
Yeah.
Has left behind a life to answer this call. A life to which you might never return. If you survive, you will be transformed. No man or woman can face a dragon and be otherwise.
The rumbling in the background.
It's amazing.
How intense.
Yeah.
Some of you may welcome the prospect of change, even death, given the alternatives. Privation, starvation, war. This is our purpose. To end those hardships. For you. For your kin. For all the realm. With these 2 dragons added to our number, the enemy will have no choice but to give way. And peace will be restored.
Oh, how deluded.
Suffering
It's a great
will
pitch.
be ended. And without bloodshed. God's willing.
Now, if this was last week, I would have said it's just a pitch, but this week, I think she really believes it.
Oh, she's full on delusional.
Yeah, definitely. This is the Rhaenyra we've been waiting for.
The dragon, named Vermithor, is the largest in the world after Vhagar, and perhaps the most fierce.
No, that says a lot.
Yeah.
He's called the Bronze Fury.
Because Nana's a bitch.
We'll go to him now.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And may the gods bless you.
They're gonna need it.
Yeah.
That was an amazing scene.
Yeah, it was.
I loved it. It was just the perfect setup, but it's not even done there, because then you've got the long walk out onto the plinth, let's say, and it's so drawn out and suspenseful. It's absolutely brilliant.
There's the part where she walks out though, and she sort of shoos her guard away.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all these strangers.
Yeah.
There could be any assassin in there.
I often think that with royalty in general, whether it be the real world or, whether they're shaking hands and things like that. And I just think, oh my God.
Well, I mean, with everything that's going on within that story, and she's just so absorbed in that moment and in her own delusion, she's like, no, I don't need you. This is happening.
But is she deluded if she's right?
She is delusional.
Yeah.
She's completely in her fantasy in her head now.
Yes. She just got lucky, I suppose, in a way.
Yeah. And we'll get to that, because there's a moment on her face of, oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So, yeah, she gets out onto the platform, and then it's like, who among you would be first? And Silver Dennis just inches forward, in a lot. Like he was quite at the back of the crowd, and he's walked his way through slowly. But once he gets to the front, the steps slow down.
Absolutely.
And then Rhaenyra's just like, "I've nothing more to tell you. It must be the dragon who speaks." And they all just fuck off. And then the guards move in and block the doorway. And like, no changing your mind. You're here now.
Oh, dear. I do love the bit where she turns round.
Yeah.
And it's that poster shot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Same dress. Same girl.
Yeah.
Different dragon.
Yes, definitely.
But really awesome.
Actually missed that part there, was that moment when she comes out and she comes face to face with Vermithor.
Yeah.
And actually clipped it because I just thought it was brilliant. It was just, there was a fire in her we've never heard before. She's been riding a dragon since she was a child, but I think this is her for the first time truly becoming a dragon lord.
The face acting's really good as well.
It's amazing.
You just see that moment in her where she's, I don't know if reborn is the right word.
Yeah.
Something just awake. Something awakens in her.
Yeah.
She just, that's it. Here she is.
Fire and blood.
Yeah.
Here we come. Here's the clip. And then you just hear Vermithor just settle. She's a true dragon lord in that moment. Okay.
Pardon you, Vermithor.
Exactly.
Is it a big lunch? It's about to be.
Well, it's funny you should say that because my next line is, "Oh, Ty, you brought snacks." And I'm sure that's what...
I think that bastard's repeating on me.
Oh dear. Oh, it's funny because it's true. I love it. So yeah, of course, she has her bonding moment with it when she's reached out and touches Vermithor, and there's just this. That was it. That was this moment. Something washed over her there. You just saw it. You saw it go through her body. Whoa! What just happened there? Like you say, this something awakened. It's lovely. But then, of course, she leaves and traps the ball in, which is bloody hilarious. And the carnage that ensues is...
It's something else, isn't it? I mean,
really
we thought the Stefan Darkland thing was...
Yeah.
This is just crazy.
Yeah, and I don't know how many of you guys saw the behind the scenes, but if you didn't, please go and watch it. The House That Dragons Built. It was absolutely amazing how they've done this. That moment when they all try to rush through the guards to get out the door and they light 16 people on fire simultaneously through little bursts of and it's real fire.
Yeah.
Every time you see someone on fire in House of the Dragon, it is real fire every time. And it is amazing how they had these little, I don't know what to call them, like little pyro things on the floor. Oh, what's the word?
Ignition points.
Yeah, let's go with that. They have these ignition points on the floor and it goes, they just, in a puff, 16 people are aflame.
Yeah.
And then they've got, what is it, like 10 seconds or something like that?
Yeah.
I think it's around that, to film the scene.
Choreographed.
Absolutely, time to perfection.
Yeah.
Cut the cameras and put the fire out quick. And these stunt guys are so brave, but it would not be me.
Stop, drop and roll.
It definitely would not be me. They are braver men than I am. But definitely so cool to watch that behind the scenes stuff. I feel like I've watched the behind the scenes for every episode, but this was the best one.
Yeah, it was really good.
And the Stefan Darkland one was really good too.
Yeah. Huge respect.
Definitely. The choreography, the makeup, the stunt people, the CGI, the camera work, everything that went into that scene was just intense. And we're only in the first few seconds of it. It's just absolutely insane. So, of course, at this point, people start falling off the side of the platform. And I think it cuts to Rhaenyra at this point, and everything goes quiet, and we're very much in Rhaenyra's head with the sound is all muffled in the background. And she has this moment. And I can work out what she's thinking.
I feel like she maybe thought, oh, not again. I was wrong again.
Yeah.
Possibly. And then, but it's only for a second, and then she's...
Oh, no, it's so long.
No, I think she looks sad after that. I think there's a second.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
Not
yeah.
again, and then she just looks quite sad.
Yeah, definitely. There was there was a sadness, but then there was...
Then she's vacant.
Yeah, then vacant. And then there was resolve.
Yeah.
That this is what's got to be done. This is the only way we're going to pull this off. I think deep down, Rhaenyra thinks if she doesn't get more dragons, the war is lost to her.
Yeah.
And she might be right, actually. A lot of that is because she doesn't know where she stands with Daemon at this point. But that's episode 8. We will get to that. But it is really intense scenes, really intense. So after that, we're like down on the ground. And this camera work here with Hugh, they filmed it like they've got the steady cam following him, and it's all actually pieced together. They did like it in sections, but they've made it look like it's one big long continuous shot, and it's absolutely brilliant the way he's running through the cavern and dodging the fire, and the CGI with Vermithor in the background is insane. He's picking up people on fire like toasty snacks.
S'mores.
Yeah, s'mores. It's so good. That moment when he's with the girl behind the rock though, and he grabs her with the scruff of the neck and he's looking at her and just read my eyes.
Calm the fuck down.
Don't run. Follow me. But it's absolutely brilliant. I love that. What was your thoughts on Hugh throughout this scene?
I think he's just brilliant. He's my favourite.
Is he?
He's my favourite in this section when all the dragon seeds are...
Yeah, definitely. I cannot argue with that. He's got that hero thing going on.
Yeah.
In a big way. He seems worthy, and now we know he's Jaehaerys' grandson, which makes him even closer, like in line than Rhaenyra, as in Vermithor's eyes, to Jaehaerys. You know what I mean? He's Jaehaerys' grandson.
Well, there's some lovely fucking dark twist of fate there, isn't there?
There
that
is.
Sarah was ejected by her father, and then her bastard son claims her father's dragon.
That's brilliant.
I'm sure
Pure
Jaehaerys
gold.
is absolutely turning in his ash.
And of course, this is not book canon, but I'm sure if George Martin did not have a part in that decision, he loves it.
Yeah, I love it.
I love it. I think it's brilliant. But, we need a Hugh clip because...
We do.
We absolutely need a Hugh clip. Here we go.
I'm ready. Come on!
Brilliant, love it.
I absolutely love that. I'm not going to lie, right after he did that, I Googled him to see if he was Scottish. I genuinely feel that he delivered "come on" like only a Scotsman can.
Yeah.
It was very good. He was very badass in that moment.
He was, but it's lovely. He seems to have that Targaryen bond immediately.
Yes.
As soon as the hand is on the dragon, the smile comes.
Yeah.
That little, it's me and my dragon.
Yes. I love that moment though. When, like, he's born with the dragon, you see Rhaenyra up on the plinth behind them, looking down, and then he looks up at her, and there's just this little smile between the both of them.
And she has a little
and
tear
he
in her
gives
eye.
the smile too.
Yeah.
So he smiles at her, she smiles back, and she's tear.
Yeah.
Definitely. She was moved. She had another spiritual experience there watching that happen.
I was right.
Absolutely. But there's nothing more dangerous than a person that feels they have the gods on their side that then gets vindicated.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So, any more notes on Vermithor and Hugh?
No, let's move on to Ulf.
And Silverwing. I love how Silverwing is camouflaged in the wall as he's walking towards her, and you can see her. I don't know I think I noticed it on my first watch. I'm pretty sure I noticed the wing shape on
the back wall.
Yeah, but I kind of love this scene. I just thought it was just so funny. I love the way that they just Ulf is just this bumbling idiot. He's banging into walls and tripping over stuff, and then he stands on an egg sack. And it makes me wonder, what it was with Silverwing. Did she maybe think that he was offspring because he was covered in the egg sac stuff?
Maybe.
Or maybe when Vermithor nudged him off the platform because he got a very definite nose. Vermithor's nose was right all over him as he knocked him off. So maybe he had some Vermithor stank on him.
Maybe she just senses the Targaryen, but he's also, his character's I find him very irritating, if I'm honest.
you?
But he's not a bad guy. He's actually a gentle soul. And maybe being Alysanne's dragon, that's what touches Silverwing, that he is quite a gentle soul.
I was honing in on that too. I don't find him that irritating. I find him quite entertaining, actually. I think he's quite funny.
No, I find him highly irritating.
Oh, why?
He's just annoying. His voice is annoying.
He just rubbed you up the wrong way.
Yeah, I think it's just his voice.
Okay, right.
I think that's what it is. Maybe I'll get over it as his character develops, but...
Well, yeah, maybe. I find him really entertaining. I love the whole, he never really truly believed it himself. And then he's got this, he finally got this confirmation, I suppose, that the stories he believed are real. And I love that he then goes for this like joyride over King's Landing. And I think it's that whole dragon bond thing again. I think all he ever wanted was for everybody to see him as something important. Yeah, all the people that he knows. So he was probably thinking of home.
Yeah.
And Silverwing's like, home.
Look, guys, it's real.
Yeah. Elf the Dragon Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, it must have been such a thrill. Just flying over King's Landing like that. Yeah, it was so cool. I love that dragon flight scene. It was just so cool. And Silverwing is stunning. I just love her. Just so majestic, so graceful the way she flies. There's like something really badass about all the other dragons, but there was something very graceful about Silverwing that I've never noticed before in any others. It's cool. Actually, there's one more, but that's an episode 8 thing too.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that brings us, unless you have anything else to say.
No.
Yeah, okay. So, like, Aemon is so pissed.
He is so mad.
That small council meeting, and they're just rabbiting on about the boring politicking. And Aemon looks so bored. And then you just hear all this, dragon, dragon, dragon!
I love that he thinks, I'm going to get on Vhagar and I'm going to sort this right out.
Oh, he is. He's like, right, that's it. All I need is Vhagar and we're good to go. Which brings us to Vhagar.
Yep.
Vhagar was totally channeling Aemon's rage, don't you think?
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
Vhagar was angry. Nana was pissed off.
She's generally pissed off, though. She's either asleep or pissed off, like a proper Nana.
Yeah, that's so true. Definitely. But she's like, she's want to go.
Yeah.
She wants a freaking Pagger. She's like, I can take Silverwing.
Yeah, and he has to actually tell her to kill her jets. Like, oh no.
Yeah, he's like,
because
no.
What does he see?
Yes, he sees more dragons.
Yep.
More than he expected to see. Bigger ones than he expected to see.
Yeah.
Because there's all the little dragons weren't there. It was just, I expected a couple of dragons, but I don't expect them to be that big.
Yeah.
And then we heard this command that we've never heard before. Flee, Vhagar.
Yep.
Turn around.
I actually, the first time I watched it, had to put it back.
Yeah.
Because I was like, did he say flee?
He did.
And I was like, he did. He's
absolutely
scared.
Did.
First time we've seen Aemon scared since he was a little boy.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, he was... that was just something else, that moment. He's just turned around, but then he had to, turn... Like, as Vhagar's flying away, he's turning around to look back.
Take.
And what do we see on that beach? How amazing was that shot?
It was an amazing shot. And I loved Rhaenyra's face. She was first time she's seen him since he killed her son. And she's like, come on then.
Absolutely. I'm ready now.
Bring it on.
Aye, now I'm coming for you, mate.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You're not taking on a little boy and a tiny dragon.
Mm-hmm. Time to meet Mama. Mama Dragon is coming out to play now. And you may have Vhagar, but come on. What do you think? Can Vhagar take Vermithor, Silverwing, Syrax, Sea Smoke, potentially Caraxes as well?
Yeah, Vhagar's got a fight on her hands.
Yeah. Did you have any other thoughts or notes on that scene before?
No, I don't think so. I think that was it.
Just absolutely stunning final shots, like just the Silverwing circling and Cyrax is there on the beach, Vermithor's behind, no sign of sea smoke in sight, but he already knew about or actually he probably did know. I mean, Jasper and Laris opted not to tell him, I think, but I'm sure he heard. If that many, the Chinese whispers that was going on there.
Yeah, the squire of the uncle's shipwright that the fish told him when the dragon was... Yeah.
Absolutely. The fish told him. That's so true. So yeah, the sea smoke's already in the picture. And then we've still got another dragon to add to the black side as well by the end of episode 8. And so that brings us to episode 8, which I'm so excited about. This is just awesome. Shall we talk about Aemond and Nana?
Bad Nana.
Oh, bad Nana. She was having fun though, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was liking it a little bit too much. But I think she's just channeling Aemond's rage there.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, what a little twat. He literally left the Dragonstone where we left him at the end of the last episode, pissed off that, Rhaenyra's got some new dragons and goes and decides to take it out on Sharp Point.
It's just the epitome of fight or flight mode, isn't it? It's like fight in flight mode.
Well, it was tactical as well, though.
He's shitting his pants, though.
Yeah.
So he's fuming and he's like, right, you fuckers are getting it.
But do you know who's the house at the Sharp Point?
Oh, no.
It's the House Massey. As in Alinda Massey, who was the one that ran around rounding up all the dragon seeds.
Right, okay.
Rhaenyra's handmaiden. And so therefore, was it coincidental that it just happened to be the nearest point? Because the next nearest place is King's Landing. He's not going to go and burn King's Landing.
No, you're right. He's too tactical for that. Although he is in rage mode.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's Alinda Massey who's directly involved in what he's raging at.
Yeah.
But does he know that? So, was it tactical? Was it not? It's certainly one of Rhaenyra's strongest supporters.
Yeah, I mean, at the least, it's coincidental.
Yeah, definitely. But quite clever coincidence, I like, for the writers.
Yeah.
if it's a writing thing, then it's clever. Right?
Yeah.
If it's an Aemond choice, then it's devious. Like, he can still be that calculated through his rage.
I think he's got the capability.
Definitely, he is scary. Shall we do the rest of the dragon stuff sort of as it happens? Because these dragons are kind of just extras in scenes later on. They don't really do much. Do you have anything else to say about Aemond and Nana's rampage before we move on to some other stuff?
Not really, apart from just visually, like, it's always really cool, isn't it, when it's a dragon-involved scene?
Yes.
And just that whole opening of the mouth and the fire building up, and it's just
cool.
really cool to watch, isn't it? If you have a show with dragons in it, that's what you want to see. Lots of flight, lots of fire.
Yeah, I agree. But on that note, I'd kind of like to talk about something that's kind of happened in the fandom regarding that episode and, well, this season in general, is that a lot of people are like upset that there wasn't enough action and stuff this season. And I want to remind those people that this is a story about people.
Yeah.
At most. We love dragons and we love the dragon action, and the dragons are a huge part of this story, right? But the reason we fell in love with this universe is because of these stunningly written characters, whether it be the adaptations in House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones, the show, or the ones that George wrote on the page. But the story is about people. George loves to write about the heart and conflict. And tell me we did not see that this season. We saw that in spades. It's not... The action is great and we live for the action. And believe me, you came here for action, you're going to get it next season. You're definitely going to get it next season with the way the story goes, right? Even if they tame it down, it's still going to be action-packed. In fact, I think they'd have to tame it down a little bit in order to fit it all in, because there is so much action coming up. But at the same time, I came here for the fantastic character writing and story development and the fantastic lore as well of this world that is created, that I feel like House of the Dragon have really done a really good job this year of tying in some lore that was never really attempted, apart from maybe some Children of the Forest in Game of Thrones. And they shied away from the magical element. And I love that House of the Dragon team have went there.
Yeah.
These characters that they have adapted from, let's face it, a pretty dry text.
Yeah.
We don't get any sense in Fire and Blood of who these people are, except what the maesters are presenting to us. And that's not, and so I feel like the House of the Dragon team have done an amazing job of, adapting these characters, fantastic characters that are worthy of George is writing.
Yeah, no, I'm in total agreement.
Excellent. I just hope that a few people out there that are on the fence, that I might have convinced you with that little speech, because as much as it wasn't, there was some stuff missing from there that we all wanted, like another 2 episodes, for example. There's definitely, it was lacking in some battle action that we expected a lot more of that.
Yeah, that's the other element of George's writing. There's a lot of tactics.
Yes.
And
it's all behind the scenes, backstabby.
Yeah.
And that's how this story, George, I think that's a quote in Fire and Blood, is the majority of this battle was fought behind closed doors and in secret meetings. And
well, it's a family that's fallen apart.
Yeah.
So that's the whole point of the story.
Yeah.
Their family line came from somewhere and they built this empire, and then it just all went to shit because of the family.
Yeah.
So that's the story. The story isn't about the dragons, it's about the family.
Yeah, and it's not about the battles either. Well, although the battles
and the dragons are awesome.
Yeah.
But the story's about the family.
It's about people, yeah?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so I hope anybody that's on the fence, like I said, that you see that while there was some of what people were looking for wasn't there, that overall the work that they have done on this season, and it was absolutely fantastic. It was. I'm not saying that there's maybe some casting choices I disagree with, or lack of casting choices.
As people, there will always be things that you think, well, no, that wasn't how I wanted it to be in my mind. Mm-hmm. And this is always the way.
And there was some mistakes as well. There's some things they just got wrong. They've not done well. They've not explained properly. There was flaws, but overall, this was the best of the best, working with the best budget that wasn't the budget they were promised in the first place, but it was still...
Even down to the finest of details.
Yes.
Like months and months of work went into these shots that were a few minutes long. Mm-hmm. And these are things that are...
Like the details, like all the scrolls and Dragonstone.
Yeah, like we discussed about Aegon's armour.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
6 months it took to make that armour.
Yes.
And he was in it for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
The work that's gone into this, the production team, the special effects, the makeup, the makeup
the camera
department.
work.
The camera work, stunning.
Like, the locations that they chose, everything was wonderful. It really was. And all the time, effort and money that's gone into this show, I think to have serious criticism is a bit harsh.
I think it is, absolutely. But let's get on to the episode now. Let's talk about the positive, because we loved so much about this.
Yeah.
And, there's some bits that we kind of question, but we'll get to them too. But I think, as far as I'm concerned, I left this season satisfied. So here we go. The Queen Who Ever Was. Not to be confused with the name of the ship, which is the Queen Who Never Was.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they're trying to do there. Were you?
No.
Let's move on.
If anybody knows or has a theory, please send us that in. That would be great. I'd love to discuss that further.
I don't know if they're talking about, say, Rhaenyra being the queen who ever was, because it was definitely never that Corlys said in the scene.
Was she ever was? The queen that maybe was and then kind of is, but sort of isn't? Like, I would say that's a more accurate description.
You could be onto something there. Okay, so overall thoughts. What you got?
I really enjoyed the episode. The overall thoughts of it are it's a well-balanced episode. I liked the ending. I thought it wrapped some stuff up, but mostly it gave us an excitement for the new season to follow.
Definitely.
And although there wasn't a major cliffhanger, it's that feeling of excitement with which we will discuss later, the montage that we were left with. And yes, there was a wee cliffhanger, actually.
Oh, there was a couple.
So it was a really good episode. Okay, not a lot of dragon action, but actually the dragons are not just the dragons. The Targaryens are the dragons.
Yes.
And Matt Smith, boom, you are back, Daemon.
Oh, definitely. So did you see the new intro?
No, I've not watched it.
Right.
So, tiny break there. Now I have actually seen it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's so cool. You got, I don't know, there was how many dragons has Rhaenyra got now? I think that's what was being shown there.
Is it 5?
No, it's more than that. I think it's... So, Syrax, Caraxes, Vermithor, Silverwing, Sea Smoke, Moondancer, and Vermax.
Yes.
So 7 dragons versus the Greens 2. One has just taken wing and the other is Grumpy Nana, who, as tough as she is, I don't think she can take on 7 dragons.
Oh, well, no, they've got Tessarion.
Well, that's what I said, one, but he's...
But we've also got Dreamfire.
Yes, and there we go. Dreamfire was dropped a lot in this episode. First by Corlys and then by Aemond. But Dreamfire is there, and as Rhaenyra states, formidable. Definitely formidable, but at the same time, hatched in the time of the Conqueror, she says. So, if you think about it, because Rhaenyra would be the Conqueror's granddaughter.
Yes.
First granddaughter at that, first grandchild. And so Dreamfire is at this point 100 years old. Because the Conqueror died in 37 AC. And this is 130 AC, late 129 AC. So, that dragon's nearly 100 years old. But Helena is not...
my memory, what's Dreamfire's appearance?
Blue, I think.
Yeah.
I think there's some blue going on there in Dreamfire. That's all I can remember, really.
I think, yes, we're going to come back to that when we do our YouTube videos. So
definitely. We're going to have some stunning art of these dragons. Definitely. But I want to do a dragon video.
Absolutely. Any artists out there that have some fab work that they'd like us to showcase, we'd be more than willing to do that and give you a shout.
Yeah, definitely. So, we've got Dreamfire for the Greens, along with Nana and Tessarion. But Tessarion has literally just taken flight, is not battle-hardened, and it's very small. And going to be smaller than even Moondancer and Vermax. Arax is gone, rest in peace. Team Green is looking a little bit...
Off on a mild tangent, I'm wondering, you know how we've discussed about how the dragons and so like Nana, for example, channels Aemon. So the dragons channel the riders. Well, we've heard that Daeron's he's a nice
He's
lad.
noble and kind.
Yeah, so I wonder if Tessarion at the moment has that, I'm a cool, nice dragon.
Probably. Yeah, I think you could be onto something there.
I wonder how that'll be written in the next season. I'm excited to see that.
I'm very interested to see how they portray Daeron and Tessarion in the series. However, that would be getting into spoilers to discuss why I'm interested in this.
So we're going to pull this right back
and we're going to talk about the Triarchy.
Love it. It was so funny. I just loved every bit of it.
It's absolutely brilliant. So first of all, he's begging for help for the Triarchy, and they're like, you need us more than we need you. And they give it, and he's like, well, they've kind of got a point there. They don't really need Westeros permission. They'll just go and take whatever they want anyway. They're pirates.
Yes.
Exactly. So they've got some negotiations, blah, blah, blah. I love he's come back. He's like...
I'd like to state that at this point, when they're talking to him, this is the first correction of his name.
Oh.
And I laughed every time he corrected his name.
Yes.
And thought, this is so funny, and I just love the way he did
I'm not
it.
even in the girl yet.
Yeah. But he just kept doing it, and I couldn't not laugh. And I've now watched this episode 3 times.
Yeah.
And every single time, I think I laughed more.
Yes. The names, and then getting the names wrong, definitely. But yeah. The name thing is funny. First it was Tywin, and it's Tyrod.
Yeah.
They call him Tyrod. And the Tywin one gets us all because
Yes.
Tywin Lannister, of course. But Tyrod was quite amusing as well.
Jefferson's just so great in his acting, and he's so comical.
He is.
And it's just his face acting, his voice is...
He's
just
so
the
good that
comedic way
sometimes
that
I
he does it.
forget that Jason and Thailand are the same actor. I really do. It was when this scene comes around and there's all this comedy, and I suddenly remembered, oh yeah, this is Jefferson Hall. In my head, they're 2 separate people for some reason, because they are.
Yeah.
But played by the same person, and I forget that sometimes. It's brilliant. But I love this. It's like, the Prince Regent may have me hanged for this. And the guy's like, well, with the armada we send now, you can topple the Prince Regent and sit the Iron Throne yourself.
True story.
So true. And enter Admiral Sharako Lohar. Now, I loved Sharako Lohar.
Yeah.
Played by Abigail Thorne, who was absolutely fantastic in this. She was absolutely brilliant. What sort of man are you? A poet? A philosopher? Which is absolutely hilarious, guys, because if you don't know, Abigail has a YouTube channel called Philosophy Tube. So that is absolutely brilliant. Abigail is a trans woman who uses she, her pronouns and identifies as a lesbian, but playing the role of a man in this.
Yes.
So I get that a lot of the fandom were quite confused, and sometimes when people get confused, they can say mean things. We're not going there.
No.
Right? Abigail played a fantastic role. It was so great to add. This is one of those characters that is so thin in the book, as far as character and personality is concerned, yet the show have come up with someone that is worthy, the kind of characters that George writes.
Oh, 100%. And Abigail wrote it so well, down to the details of all the knives and all the things that...
Yeah, she wanted to look like Blackbeard.
Yeah. It was based on Blackbeard, which is fucking awesome.
Yes, absolutely. I loved it. I will not sail with a man who cannot best me. At what? What do I have to do?
That's the point. It's so ambiguous that it's like, he's like, oh, fuck, I don't know what I have to. I'm just going to do it. I have to do it. I have no choice. Whatever you say, I'm just going to do it. And at every point, there's something else that's hilarious, and his wee face.
Yeah. Oh, he's brilliant. He's just, I loved everything about this scene. And then the next scene, of course, opens right into the mud fighting.
The mud fight is brilliant.
That's what I wrote. It says here, mud fight. Brilliant.
Yeah.
And then I keep getting his name wrong again. I think this is when we got to Tyrod.
It's his face when he does the connection. It's like that. I don't want to be rude, but you have my name wrong. So it's so pissed off and polite all in the one. Oh, it's brilliant. Just made me laugh so much every time.
So that brings us to our first clip then. Let's have a wee listen to the mud fight.
You have impressed me, Lord Timon.
Timon,
King
this time.
Daemon has sent a most doughty ambassador.
I hope you will testify to the worth of the ambassador by agreeing to his most humble request.
I will most certainly consider it.
Clever words.
After dinner, have you ever eaten the flesh of your enemies?
What?
I have not, and I would not.
So you reject the hospitality of my house?
Oh, it's too good.
A jest, my lord. What do you take me for? A jest. Come.
I just love that so much. It's so funny.
Her laugh is so infectious. Oh, that was just brilliant.
I love the way that the scene's done, right?
Yeah.
That the look of horror on his face and the pause. However, he is covered in mud.
Yeah.
His whole face, apart from his eyes. So it makes the viewer focus in on the horror in his eyes. It's so funny.
Jefferson was brilliant in that scene. So was Abigail. They're just utterly brilliant. They played off so well against each other. They're just both bouncing off each other's fantastic comedy acting. It was priceless.
I hope they're total buds after this.
So do I. And you don't get scenes like that very often in a show this serious. So they're priceless.
No, you're right. That's the thing about this lovely scene, that there's so much dark shit going on.
Yeah.
That this is a lovely relief.
Definitely.
It's so lovely.
Really, it's one of the best.
You've got to have a bit ridiculous, haven't you?
Yes, absolutely. So keeping with the ridiculous, I've got another clip.
Brilliant.
Here come my lads, my comely boys, inspect your sacks ashore. For you'll be sailing many days afore you get some more. So grease the mast and send it up betwixt the wind and water. Hoist me, lads, and hoist again. Salute the captain's daughter.
I love this as the final humiliation.
I know. Lord Tyrant!
Good song! Well delivered!
It's Thailand.
You have
so
proven yourself most
apologetic.
accommodating. And more accomplished than one would think, to look at you. I will be pleased to sail at your side.
I said, oh, thank fuck.
Hi.
And my captain's with me. To the gullet on the morrow! And let the sea snake rue the day we meet again.
Oh, she's got beef with Corlys. He has beef with Corlys.
My king will be well pleased to friendship.
My king will be well pleased.
As hilarious as that was, and I get it, that it was the final humiliation, like the final test. Like,
yeah.
It total gave off Pippin vibes from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know the scene that I mean.
Remind me.
So it's in Return of the King, and it's not the same kind of scene.
Right.
He's singing a wee solo.
Oh yeah, I know the scene.
For the Steward of Gondor, and he's it's overshadowed with the disgusting eating of the tomatoes. But do you know the bit I mean?
Yeah.
But yes, it gave off Pippin vibes, which was quite cool for me because I love Lord of the Rings. I'm not sure if you guys know that.
No, I don't think they picked up on that, Emma.
No, not at all. But yes, hilarious.
You've been so subtle about it. Oh dear. Yeah, totally great. Loved everything about that scene. I love that in the behind the scenes, Jefferson was like, the mud wrestling was fine. The singing was awful. I hated singing. He's such a brilliant actor, though. I just love him all the more after this episode. One more from Shariko before we go.
Oh, before you go, Lord Tyler.
Yay!
You are a handsome man, and you have proven your worth and virility.
Ooh.
I wish to have children by you.
You want me to?
Indeed. I want you to fuck my wives.
How many wives do you have?
That's brilliant. That's her priceless. I think even in that moment, what's his name now? I can't remember. Thailand.
Yes.
Thailand.
Tyrod. He's Tyrod in that scene.
Yeah. So I think, and even in that moment, Tyrod was like,
I love that you just called him Tyrod.
yeah, totally. I did it on purpose. It's now Tyrod. It's easier to remember. I think even in that moment, Tyrod was like, you want to have children, right? But I thought you were a dude. And
he's fucked with him so many times now.
Yeah, he was
like,
so
I
confused.
am not saying yes or no. The only thing I can think of saying is, how many wives have you got? Fucking brilliant. I love it.
Absolutely loved everything about this scene. So brilliant. It's just so good. Great to have some comedy relief.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Much love for the triarchy scenes. I'm a little bit nervous about their arrival in Westeros, though.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that.
Westeros should be too.
Yeah, we will get to that. So what do you want to talk about next?
Oh, we've got Aegon and Larys.
Yeah, let's do that. That's kind of what I've got next as well. So what did you think of this scene?
Wow, I think we definitely needed the humour of the previous scene to go into this scene.
Yeah.
Because it's quite
Your
dark.
face still hurts a little bit from the laughter.
Yeah. And then you've got poor Aegon whose face still hurts from the fire. And I think Tom Glencarney's acting's brilliant. I think the special effects makeup is absolutely amazing. Because that's 3 times I've watched it now, and his face is not moving at all on one side. So he does this dead stare, which is really, really cool, I think.
Noticed it, yeah. I noticed it in the carriage scene at the end.
So I'm not going to lie, I did actually think that my streaming had gone on Swirly Circle of Death.
Right.
At one point, because it was such dead stare. It was so cool, so well acted. Really, really loved it. There was a line that was so hilarious. In fact, there was a few lines in
I've got the clip.
Yeah,
so
let's go for that.
Right, let's do that.
I must ask you, Your Grace, to steel yourself. We must leave King's Landing quickly, and we will not return for some time.
What?
The Pretender has found 3 new riders for her dragons.
That's impossible.
Your brother thought the same. He flew to challenge her and was rebuffed. Fled in terror, from what I hear.
And so have you, Larys.
He deserves no less.
Be that as it may, he has gone in fury to Sharp Point and laid waste to the whole of the town.
Fucking mad cunt.
How to sum
She
up
really did it,
Aemond in 3 words.
Professor.
So what was the fucking point in all this then?
The gods are cruel, Your Grace, but I hope you can see the urgency.
No. I am the king. Why must I run?
Because the Prince Regent is going to kill you.
And probably you.
Yeah.
You were in danger before, and now he is thwarted and he is angry. There is no telling what he will do, but we have an opportunity while he is away.
An opportunity to push him out. Take me to my throne. And once he returns, I shall take him prisoner.
And what then?
Premature.
Yeah.
When Rhaenyra descends on you with her 7 dragons and you without Vhagar, what then?
Well, the job's fucked, Laris. The job is fucked. You know it. He knows it.
I have, over the years, in anticipation of little bumps in the road, moved the greater part of Harrenhal's gold reserves to the Iron Bank in Bravos.
Oh, yeah,
we can
squirrel.
live
Sneaky little bastard.
well and remain until what is coming has passed.
You want to take me to Essos to live with the goat fuckers?
It's best to live, I think. However you do it.
Is it? My dragon is dead.
No, it isn't.
I am burnt and disgusting and alone.
Oh, he's going to go on about the sausage
And
now,
I'm a
isn't he?
cripple.
You're not alone.
My cock is destroyed. Did they tell you that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It burst in the flames like a sausage on a spit.
I'm so
Do
sorry.
not despair, Grace. There are better days ahead. Let your brother and the
I
pretender
think it's
destroy
supposed to
themselves
make you laugh,
in
Emma.
blood
The line was
and
definitely
bitterness
supposed to
when
make
they
you
are
laugh.
spent.
I still
and
feel
their
bad.
armies in tatters. We will return, and the people will rise up to meet us.
I can't even piss without it running down my leg.
They will be tired of endless deprivation and fear. They will hail the returning king.
And
His
Laris
father's
likes feet anyway. He's like,
true
I'm not
heir.
bothered.
No.
Aegon the
The water
victorious,
sports, doesn't he, beyond him?
risen from the ashes. Aegon the peacemaker.
I'm going to cut that.
Aegon the rebuilder.
Aegon the realm's delight.
No.
Egg on the puddle jumper.
Oh, no, come on. Realm's Delight, that's Rhaenyra's name.
Yeah.
That's just so sad.
Yeah, because he lives in his sister's shadow in his heart, really,
He
doesn't
does,
he? He
yeah.
always has, because he knew his father loved her and that
You didn't give a crap about
she
him.
was the rightful heir to the throne. And he's just another victim of circumstance, and he's a spoiled little arsehole.
It's the way he looks at Rhaenyra, the way Aemond looks at him.
Yeah.
Aemond's always saw him as the one that was in the way, because however much of a psychopath Aemond is, he is also, he's observant and he's a realist, and he understood that the realm wouldn't accept, or part of the realm wouldn't accept Rhaenyra, a woman, on the throne. So Aegon was his only threat, really, that he saw. Because he saw that, he thought Rhaenyra would be overpassed. I don't think he expected it to go to this length. But it's cool because he has Vhagar, so psycho. But back to Aegon and Laris. I mean, like, Aegon. We shouldn't laugh, right, at those things. But I believe those lines were put there to make us laugh. But they're supposed to make you laugh and feel bad about it at the same time.
I bloody hope so, or I'm going to burn in hell like Aegon's cock.
Yeah.
I'm going to burst like a sausage on a spit. Sorry.
Oh, this had... The things that are said in this scene have some implications that raise questions for people that know the rest of the story, which we will talk about in our spoiler section. But we'll just move on and enjoy the scene for what it was.
Yes.
But definitely we have some things that we're going to bring up about that in the spoilers.
And I'm absolutely in no way making light of Burns victims in any way.
No.
But yeah, no, it's totally the delivery of Tom Glencarney's lines.
And the writing, and it was designed to make you laugh. It was comedic timing.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, absolutely. You've got to feel bad for him. But let's face it, being burned by dragonfire is a fantasy aspect.
Yes.
So bringing it back to the fantasy.
we do have to be honest and say that some things can be triggering for listeners. And
absolutely,
just to make listeners aware that in no way, if it's triggered anybody, that I would find that funny in any way, shape or form.
And then the other is saying that there's, like, for example, Silver Denny's from the last episode who had extreme facial scarring. Robert Rhodes, his name was, his extreme facial scarring due to multiple surgeries for a birthmark due to some genetic disorder that I don't know the name of. I didn't retain the name of. I did read it. And a lot of people thought he was a burned victim. And I think they kind of altered the scarring to maybe look like that's what he was, because it was surgical
due
scarring.
To the nature of it.
Yeah, because the nature is naturally it was surgical scarring.
But due to the nature of the scene, maybe making it look a bit more like it's a burn situation would have been befitting of the scene.
Like a man that's face fire is the first one ready to go and face the dragon. That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah,
makes Silver Denny's a little bit cooler in my eyes.
I think he was the bravest.
Oh, absolutely.
He was right up there first. He was like, right, shit myself, but I'm going to do this.
Mm-hmm. I can handle the flames.
Then justifies the means.
Definitely. He certainly, looked the part with his blonde, shimmering blonde locks.
Oh, totally looked Targaryen. 100%.
Just wrong dragon, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe if he'd had a little leg in his crib, he would have got somewhere else. But anyway, back to Aegon and his scarring and deformities and from his injuries. It is so sad, the shape that he is in. It really, really, really is. But those lines were designed to make us laugh.
They were. And again, it's another George character that, he was a little twat. He was horrible and he raped a girl.
Yeah.
And he was a dreadful human being.
He's a terrible,
But now that this tragedy's happened to him and it's happened because of his brother, it makes us feel sympathy for the character.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there's that element. And also we know how manipulative Larys is.
Yes.
And, lying there and he's in a state of recovery as best he can. And he's got this manipulator coming in who's really his only lifeline at the moment. His mother's gone.
Yeah.
His father's dead.
He's the only
his
person that
sister's
gives a crap about him.
His brother wants to kill him.
Yeah.
And he's the king. And it's such a shit show.
I want to say George has this unique way of doing this because he does. But this isn't George's writing. This is Ryan and his writing team. Sarah Hess, etc. This is their Tymical. These people are the ones that have developed these characters, but in a very George-like way.
Yeah.
How you can take this character who has done irredeemable things and make you empathise with them.
Yeah.
They've done it with Aegon, and they've done it with Daemon for me too.
Yeah.
Like I'm back to the Daemon love part. I'm
but
feeling
they've done it with Aemond. Like we felt such sympathy for him when he was picked on by his brother and and that fetal position, and we really felt for him.
Yeah, because he's went from this kind of smart kid who then gets the dragon to somebody.
Now he's Captain Cunto and we hate him.
Yeah, exactly. But he's went to bad guy killing Luke, and then back to vulnerable guy again, and then back to bad guy again, and then somewhere in the middle when he became regent, it felt like, okay, finally somebody's taken fucking charge of this shit show. for about 5 minutes, and then you saw he was ruthless as fuck.
Yeah.
And then you were like, okay, maybe you're not the right man for the job, but you are doing a better job than your brother. In the war situation, I think Aegon was much better sitting on the throne, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, you can have more sheep. No bother. We'll pay you in advance, don't worry.
Love that scene.
It was so good. So, do we have any other thoughts on Aegon and Larys?
Not at this time.
Not at this time. Indeed. Indeed. So, is it my turn then?
Yes.
It's my turn. Right. I'm going to go blacks then.
Cool.
Since we've done. So let's talk about the Dragonseeds making themselves rather comfortable. Actually, the first scene, Hugh's not comfortable. Ulf's making himself very comfortable.
Yeah, he's totally got his feet up, literally.
On the table.
Uh-huh.
He was horrible in
He was rude.
This scene. Definitely. So rude. So rude. And totally unlikable.
Yeah.
There was something a little bit charming and a kind of innocence about his BS, you know, before that it sort of made you think it's like, oh, this guy, he feeds off these stories about how he's a Targaryen, but I don't think he ever truly believed it.
He seemed like a harmless fool.
Yes.
And actually, no, he's a bit of a twat. He's very rude. He has no manners, and he's just fucking rude.
He thinks this is his rags to riches story. You know, like when you used to read like Virginia Andrews novels when you were younger, and it was like these young poor kids from a poor background, and then they find out that they're actually descended from a really rich family, and suddenly they have everything and all the opportunities in life, but mixed with tragedy.
It goes from he's not even brave enough to be honest with the people in the tavern that he's bullshitted for ages and looks kind of fearful, and then because he's had this fucking mad experience with a dragon, which is something that he couldn't even have imagined in his wildest dreams.
No.
The terror that he felt in the dragon pit.
Yeah.
And then, not the dragon pit, on Dragonstone.
The Dragon Mont.
Yes. See, I knew I was wrong. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there, guys. I'm learning. And then to be in the air, like flying on Dragonback, he is just filled with balls. He's filled with balls, and he's rude, and he's a cunt. Yeah,
absolutely. It's that age-old tale about how power goes to some people's heads.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and he is like the over-exaggerated example of that.
Yeah.
He really just, the power just went to his head so quickly.
And the cheek that he gives Jace.
Oh, yeah, he was so rude to Jace. He was like, even Hugh was like, this is Jaceres he's Velaryon, isn't he?
Yes.
Yes, he's Velaryon until he ascends the throne, and then he'll be a Targaryen.
Yes.
I get it. Right, this Jaceres Velaryon, you know, the prince, he lives here. He's like, first he's rude, and then he's like overly familiar, throwing his arms around him and like acting like, oh yeah, I'm your uncle.
And Jace is absolutely boiling. He's like,
he's so angry.
Oh my God, I hate you. I hate everything about your existence, and the fact that you're here and you're making me hate my existence, and I'm going to project that onto you.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're a cunt, and you're being rude.
Exactly.
What the hell?
I mean, it's given Jace the ammunition he needs to continue to rage. I'm sure if Jace had walked into Adam and Hugh sitting having a nice civilised dinner,
he would have sat and pouted.
Yeah. I was going to say he wouldn't have been so angry, but yeah, you're right. He would have done the other thing.
Yeah. He would have been passive-aggressive in his rage.
Yes,
however, he was just aggressive.
Definitely, but who could blame him? Because that guy was triggering.
Yeah.
If he was acting like that at my dinner table, I'd probably be just as annoyed.
Yeah, he would have been asked to leave.
Politely.
I cordially invite you to leave.
So true. But so yeah, first of all we have that scene, and then there was the later scene at the dinner with Rhaenyra, that was very awkward. So Rhaenyra's got her plans to attack Old Town in Lannisport, which strategically is the right move. That's this is where the strength of their navy, the Greens' navy comes from, and also the Greens' funding.
Yeah.
The Hightowers and the Lannisters.
The smarts, the monies, the strength.
Yeah.
So
absolutely,
it's cutting the head off, isn't it?
Yes, there's certainly the wings and a tail.
Yeah.
The head would be Vhagar and Aemond.
Well.
But yeah.
Have to catch him first.
Aye. Oh dear. But yeah, he's rude, he's antagonistic, he's even
he's greedy.
Yes. He even has Adam triggered. And Adam's so nice that he's just so chilled and laid back. But even then he's like, yeah, I'll show you what I can do. He's like
they're all low born.
Yes.
All of them. However,
manners cost nothing.
Yeah, these other guys are being gentlemen at a table. What the hell is this guy's problem? Is the general consensus.
Well, yeah. I mean, Hugh's slightly different in the fact that his mother was a princess, so he would have been raised. But his mother was also the most rebellious princess that ever was.
Yeah, however, her being educated and
I feel he was raised well.
In the way that she was, all it would take is for a young child to copy those things.
Yes, absolutely. So, yeah. Her natural mannerisms, that even no matter how rebellious she is, will shine through because of the way she was raised.
Table manners, those kind of things would have been something he would have adopted very easily.
Being the person she was in Volantis, being a high society madam.
In that situation, you would have to command a certain level of respect in order to remain safe.
Yes, she certainly would. She would have had, the really rich princes and lords and things like that frequenting her establishment.
Yeah.
And would have to put on the entertaining fit for royalty.
Yeah.
And being royalty herself, she would know how to do that. And Hugh would be
He would have been privy to that, yeah.
He would be accustomed to that sort of lifestyle. So he knows how to behave. But Adam, on the other hand, has...
I don't know. Maybe he's just a sweetheart.
He's
a nice
lovely.
Guy, isn't
he's
he?
just a really nice guy. Yet he still behaves himself with an element of decorum that seems to be completely escaping Ulf. I mean, he is known as Ulf the Sot in the books. He is, he's a drunk, he's a thief, he's a liar, a storyteller. I mean, let's face it, half the stories he told, he didn't even know they were true, but he told them as if they were.
However, he comes across as he's been a bit of a coward. So in that
too.
That kind of way, you would think, oh, well, maybe he would mind his manners just for the sake of being at the Queen's table with the Queen present.
You'd think.
And even when the Queen directly pulls him up about his manners, a knight should conduct him, and he's like, better make me a knight then.
And yeah.
Oh, that was a moment that I was watching and I actually went, oh my God. That's like, when you're sitting at the table and your sibling or something says something and you look at your parents like, holy shit, are they going to get in trouble? Oh, fuck. It was that. It was watching that going, no, she dealt with that well. Can't believe you didn't get in trouble for that.
Definitely.
Bring me more of those little birds.
Oh, yeah. Can we talk about this? The after show behind the scenes. The quail.
Yeah.
Those little birds were quail. 2 per take, 30 birds.
Yep, 30 quails, he scoffed.
Yep. Everyone else is picking at berries and grapes and stuff. But because he's the guy that shouts, more of those little birds. He has to be seen to eat those little birds. And the poor dude ate 30 quail that day. That is hilarious. Now, as much as the non-Ulf love that is going on in this room at the moment, there is quite a bit of love for the actor. I'm finding him funny and entertaining. I'm loving him behind the scenes. He looks like he's living his best life.
Yeah.
He does seem to be having the time of his life there.
Yeah, he's a lovely guy.
Yeah, he really is. But he's playing a twat.
Testament to his great acting, though.
Yes, definitely. Definitely indeed. So at the end of that scene, the only other note that I have for it is about Maester Gerardus coming in to give Rhaenyra the news from Harrenhal. But I just want to talk about Phil Daniels for a second. Because I've been watching some retro EastEnders recently. And it was, when I last watched this episode, I went from watching an episode of EastEnders from 2006 with him in it to watching this episode. And I'm like double taking and going, you really are just a fantastic actor, because it's night and day.
Yeah.
And his EastEnders part, he's this proper East End geezer. He genuinely, like, when he first comes into it, I swear the casting brief that they must have given him was like, just be exactly the same as you were in the Park Life video. Just deliver every line like it came at the Park Life video. And I swear for the first couple of months he's on it, that's what it's like. But he is absolutely brilliant in this role as Maester Gerardus. As small of a role as it is so different from who Phil is.
Yeah.
That it's just, when you know an actor so well and you've seen them do other things, you could see what a good job he's doing. And he will play a bigger part in the series later on. Mm-hmm. Right now, he's just this little background guy. And he will play a slightly bigger part at later times. But for now, every time I see him on screen, I'm like, oh my God, you're just awesome. Loving Phil. So as we leave this season, I would like to just give him a wee mark of respect there, because I'm loving it. So, did you have any other notes on those Dragonseed scenes?
No, that's my Dragonseed notes all done.
So what would you like to talk about next then? It's your turn.
Let's do some Corlys, because we love Corlys and we haven't talked about him yet.
No, we haven't. Corlys had quite a good few scenes, longer scenes.
Yes.
In this one, important scenes. Got a real chance to see Steve Toussaint's acting chops today.
And we were impressed.
We are very impressed. He's fantastic. So first of all, there was the scene with him and Rhaenyra. And it was his first time, I feel, that we've seen him giving Rhaenyra counsel as her hand. Yeah. And it was a really lovely scene, just in that sense. What they were talking about was quite serious, and but it was nice to see that moment, because she's been going to Missaria so much.
I just looked at my notes, right? I'm like, scroll while we're talking, right? Because obviously I have to find my notes for this section, right? And I was dead proud of my notes, as I'd said earlier before we started recording, right? I'm not proud of this.
Okay.
Rhaenyra and Corlys, what's my notes? Advice. What? What is that? Is that it? Is that your...
Mine says, first time giving counsel as hand. And that's it.
Okay, right. Well, yeah, we're both shit.
but I have things to say about it. And I do think that that it was nice to see that, because of, the fact that we've seen her going to Missaria a lot. And he had some wise things to say. So actually, I have the clip.
Oh, brilliant.
Which is probably why I didn't take so many notes.
I don't have that excuse, but I know you take the clips.
You knew I would have clipped it. You knew.
So. The new riders are a boon to us. But now the deed is done, I cannot erase my doubts. We know little of who they are, and what is the strength of their character. Adam of Hull, at least, is known to you.
He's a shipwright in my employ, and it is reported to me that he is a man of integrity. I've had little to do with him.
No shit.
To my regret. But the beasts have been claimed. You now have a great advantage. You must strike quickly while the Prince Regent mulls his next action.
I had hoped my advantage may be in deterrence. Vhagar has ever been our foremost threat, and she is now overmatched.
Vhagar is not his only dragon.
The third brother is untested. Has never left Old Town, and his dragon is younger than Vermax.
But a dragon nonetheless. And you forget another.
Helena. She does not ride. She has no taste for it.
She may yet be compelled. And her dragon...
Dreamfire. Hatched when the Conqueror was king. She is formidable. Still, Helena is no warrior.
It's not what Rhaenys would have
Daemon
said.
thought himself invincible.
Not.
He has now discovered he is not. He will be angry, desperate. He will not stop at Burning Sharp Point, and he will not be denied.
You speak truly. I wish it was not so. How goes the sea snake?
Better than you. We'll rejoin the blockade on the morrow. Let our foes beware, be they Lannister or Greyjoy.
Ugh, well, it's worse than that, love.
But my ship is no longer the Sea Snake. She was a testament to my own glory. I've given her a new name. The Queen Who Never Was.
Corlys. I thank you.
What I do now, I do for her. Your Grace, you are ready. You have 6 dragons under your banner. My ships sail at your command, and my men serve you. But the Lannisters are marching, and the High Towers from Old Town. You must crush this beast at its head, and before too many days have flown. There is, of course, another player that is yet to be revealed.
Cut to Harrenhal. But yeah, like, this scene was... It showed that he was the right man for the job.
Yeah. I felt like he's still grieving. He always will. Obviously, with him renaming the ship.
Yes.
And I felt he did try and channel a bit of what would Rhaenys say to Rhaenyra.
Yes.
But it's still same old Corlys, because he's a warrior, isn't he?
Corlys is a funny one because he's someone that we love, right? He's a lovable character, but he's still a bit backwards in his thinking, and he's a bit
of a doer rather than a thinker, and I think that was the difference between him and Rhaenys. I think Rhaenys would have been like
this yin and yang, isn't it?
Yeah, let's think about this, and Corlys is like, you must strike now, within days, like get this shit done, crush those fuckers, like
yeah. Whereas Rhaenys would have been proud the fact that Rhaenyra still wants to show restraint.
Yeah. How can we do this in the way that, in a way that saves the most people? Because this is the end game. Like, you still want to have people to rule over.
Yeah.
So that yeah.
I mean, Corlys is Corlys at the end of the day. I mean, he's always going to be that guy that's going, well, maybe Rhaenyra will change if he just spends some time around women. He does live in a little bubble sometimes. But at the same time, it was good to see him in his role again instead of just... But let's come to the ship and the naming of the ship.
I hate the name of the ship.
I hate it as well. And I don't think...
Rhaenys would have hated it.
Rhaenys would have hated it too. That's exactly where I wanted to go. The Queen Who Never Was, she hated that title. I mean, if you wanted to honour her, call it the Red Queen or Princess Rhaenys.
Yeah.
Or,
Meleys.
Yeah, Meleys. Absolutely. There's 3 amazing ways you could have honoured her. The Queen Who Never Was. Yeah. Yeah. No.
No.
I don't like
Sorry,
it.
Corlys.
But what is beautiful about it is that the ship before was named after him. It was the Sea Snake.
Yeah.
It was a testament to his own glory. And now it's about something else. And maybe he's not the best with names. But the sentiment was there. He wanted to honour her, and yeah, you could have chose a better name, pal, but...
It stinks of, you don't know what you've got till it's gone with Corlys.
Yeah, he was gone for years. He just left her.
Yeah.
One of their kids died, and two of their kids died within a week, actually. It was awful. But he just buggered off and left her to deal with that. And so, yeah, it's guilt as well. There's a lot of guilt in there. I still like Corlys, though. I like him a lot. He's one of the characters I most love to see on screen.
Yeah. That's Steve Toussaint, though. That's not like I didn't really like Corlys very much in the.
Not in the book.
In the book.
It
was a bit. Meh.
But again, we don't get a lot of anyone's personality in the book. It's very dry and factual.
Did like Sarah Targaryen in the book, though.
Loves her. Loved Arya Targaryen as well.
Yeah.
Rhaenys Targaryen, the original.
Yeah.
Rhaenys Targaryen came across. Visenya was a total cow. Right?
I loved her character. She was mental.
Yeah, absolutely. But all these personalities did come across in the book. So,
and I mean, the best ones, Jaehaerys and Alysanne. Alysanne was the best character. She was brilliant.
I stand by one of the best characters in the book is Mushroom. The Testimony of Mushroom is a book I would love to read in full.
You love a side character.
Yeah, I do. I am definitely the sidekick fan.
Yeah.
Mushroom is the ultimate side character.
Yeah.
It's like he does nothing, but he's there for everything. Absolutely brilliant. Great writing. We love you, George. So, Corlys and Rhaenyra, any other thoughts?
Nope.
So, sticking with Corlys, shall we talk about his conversation with Alan?
Yes.
Yeah. Got to say, I was Team Alan in that conversation.
Oh, absolutely. Loved the acting.
The way they bounced off each other, it was brilliant. And the face acting.
The body language I thought was great.
Yes.
There was something about even just the shots of sort of side-on shots or the back of them.
Yeah.
And you could just see the tension in the body of, I can't walk away from this.
Mm-hmm.
I have to turn round and tell you, but I want to walk away. But no, can't do it. No, I'm sorry, you've triggered me. You've poked the bear and that is it.
Mm-hmm. You woke the dragon.
Yes. Well, the salt.
Aye.
Salt in your eye, love.
Yeah. Woke the dragon.
The actor's name. Abu?
Oh, I can't remember now.
I'm going to IMDb this guy because he absolutely deserves a
No bother.
mention. Like, loved him, thought he was brilliant. Yeah. Abubakar Salim.
Right.
However, I think when I watched the behind the scenes, when the guys were chatting with him and about him,
Mm-hmm.
they were referring to him as Abu.
Right.
So, yeah.
Which seems like a absolute, totally...
like his mum maybe calls him.
Yeah.
Abubakar.
Yeah, it's an obvious abbreviation of that name.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm sorry, that's what my mum and my sisters call me. You can shorten that shit.
Definitely. This was a long time coming, though. You could, like you say, the body language, it was just like, I've been holding on to this for so long and I wanted to have this conversation. But here we fucking are.
Yeah. I just loved it.
Absolutely. Well, I clipped it, so let's hear it.
Yay!
I wish to set out on good terms with my first mate.
Have I been remiss in my duties?
You've done what is asked of you, and more. But you are curt, silent, and the men find you distant. You cannot lead if you do not inspire.
I never asked to lead, as you well know.
Oh, he's holding it together.
Yeah.
He's like...
You have been given a position to which all who serve here aspire.
Forgive me, my lord. I will endeavor to improve myself.
Oh.
I am trying to help you.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Don't need a dad row.
No for you.
You want to help me? Is this the help you offer after all these years? A reminder to be grateful.
I mean no offense. You may go.
Too late.
Oh, nah, you poked the bear, man.
Do you know what it was like for us? To grow up fatherless? To be sneered upon as bastards? Never sure of the bread to feed us? Do you know what hunger does to a boy? What grief does? Or shame?
You are dismissed.
I thought fish in the market, from cold dawn until sunset, putting my coppers to stave off the winter. And I watched the man beside me walk past with his son and heir, with the fur around his shoulders, choosing sweetmeats to eat after supper by the fire. And now that boy is dead, and his sister before him, and the heir that took his place, and now you remember I live. Now you wish to suddenly to scatter the crumbs of your favor. I am an honorable man, and I will serve you because I must. But if it is all the same, I will decline any offers of help. If I survive this war, I will continue as I began. Alone.
Oh. And that's some deep-rooted pain and rage.
Absolutely.
However, he pulled his father from the wreckage.
Yeah, he did.
If it was as simple as he's making out, he wants nothing from him, he still does have that. There's a something there.
There is something there, but I'd also think that Alan's the kind of person that would save anyone.
Yeah, like you said, he's an honourable man.
Yeah.
However, the pain is still there.
Oh, big
and the
time.
pain's there for a reason.
He was probably going through so much as he pulled him out of the water.
Yeah.
There was part of him that probably wanted to let him drown.
I just love the acting. The acting was brilliant. The breaks in the voice, the highs and lows, the finding his... You can hear in his voice how he's battling with his pain, but bringing it back to his self-respect.
Yes.
Like, I will not let you see me in pain. You've caused me enough pain. And I'm going to take from you what I've earned, not what you've given me. You can keep your charity.
Aye.
I don't want your charity.
I don't want
Keep
your
it.
help or your advice or your too late parenting.
Yeah.
I don't want you to suddenly notice me now that everyone else is gone.
Yep. Everything I've got, I fought for, and I'll continue to do that. Thank you very fucking much, and I don't need your approval.
Bye. I
brilliant
totally
scene.
Brilliant. I loved everything about it. It was so good.
And
It was-
Corlys just looks destroyed.
Yeah.
It's
He's an old man now as well.
And he's lost everything. And he's just grasping at family that he has left. Too little, too late.
Far too little, too late.
Yeah.
There was some horrible... Well, actually, they were supposed to be funny. But there were some memes flying around at the time as this episode came out. And it was a picture. It was Christmas at high tide. And it was Rhaenys and Corlys and a young Rhaenyra and Lena with a little Adam and Alan in the window staring in, watching.
Oh, that's awful. Who makes these memes? You'd be ashamed of yourself. Fucking cunts. That's awful.
It is. I'm laughing at your reaction, not the meme. It was terrible. I was like, oh, I don't know if that's funny. Like,
oh, do you know, sometimes satire escapes me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a bit like Alan.
Yeah, I have those moments too. I'm like, but it's mean.
Yeah.
I don't like it when it's mean.
Yeah.
I know I'm supposed to laugh, but it's mean.
But then, you know, there's the flip side. You can't laugh at a shit situation.
Well, there is some truth in that. Definitely. So, I think we've talked all about Corlys.
Yep.
What are we going to talk about next?
Are we going to go for Gwen and...
Oh, yes, please. Let's. This was brilliant. I loved this scene. It was really so good. It was like... Cole's sitting there, he's sniffing away on this hanky. And you know he's been sniffing it for the whole journey. And Gwen's been sitting there stewing. And eventually he's just went, nope, that's it. I can't take it anymore. Right?
My sister.
And he very loudly in front of the whole cab.
It's my second watch of this. I didn't watch them.
Right.
I watched the guys in the cab.
So did I.
And they're like, oh, shit's going down. Oh, no. And they get to a point where they're like, oh, fucking nothing's happening here. This is bullshit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's the funny thing about it is that Cole is so depressed that all Gawain can do is sit down on the log next to him.
In my notes it says, you weren't there, man. But they were together.
I know. It was so rough. And the PTSD is real in both of them.
Yeah.
They're both dealing in different ways.
Yeah.
Gwen's reverted to sarcasm and just kind of being a bit mopey. Whereas Cole's just all sorts of broken.
He's in Cole's hole.
Oh, he's having flashbacks. Yeah, definitely. And that whole... Anyway, I actually clipped this scene because I just thought it was all kinds of great. So shall we listen?
Yeah.
Do you think nothing of your oath? Lord Commander.
That's it. I've had enough.
I think of nothing else, my lord.
Steward's son from Dawn. Fucking the Queen of the Seven Kingdoms.
Former Queen. She has broken no oath for all I may have done.
I could send you to the war.
You could. Stay in the High Tower name for a generation. King's mother in his hand.
She is my sister.
She saved my life.
Twice. Once from the headsman's axe and once from myself.
Since then, she has been the beacon I follow.
Oh no, now I'm depressed. I don't know if I can listen to any more of this.
Oh, this guy. Oh, what is Cole?
Oh, I'm exhausted. Just listening. I'm no wonder Gwen was just like, oh, you know what?
I'm just going to sit down. I've had enough. Even the guys in the camp are like, I'll fuck this shit.
Aye, there's no fight happening here.
No.
Oh, it's a bit much, like. But I don't know. Shall we listen to the rest of the scene and see if it gets any better?
Well, yeah.
Do not think I have no shame in me, sir. The desire for women has brought me grief after grief.
Then resisted.
Well, he wasn't.
Oh, would that it was so simple.
Your brother's in the King's Guard, by the way.
Sexual harassment in the workplace. We've discussed this.
Do they?
Both times.
Perhaps they do. Or perhaps all men are corrupt.
Could be some truth in that.
And true honour is a mist.
that melts in the morning.
Oh, God.
That is a bleak philosophy.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Or rather, my philosophy was this. To protect the righteous and dispense justice on the rest. But now, you saw what I saw.
You were there, man.
Yeah.
The dragons dance and men are like dust under their feet.
Yeah.
And all our fine thoughts, all our endeavours are as nothing.
Maybe he's not the right man to be leading the army.
We march now toward our annihilation.
No.
Abort.
Yeah.
To die will be a kind of relief.
Nah, definitely.
No.
Sacked.
Can you think?
No.
Oh, no. No, he's gone, like.
He's done for, really, isn't he?
He certainly is. I mean, with that attitude, you can't expect him to win the next fight he walks into with that kind of attitude.
That defeatist attitude that will
I think
never
he'll be
do.
around for a few more fights, though, as far as I remember, storyline-wise, unless they change it. He's definitely be around for a few more fights, for sure. But, spoiler alert, most people die in this show, by the way.
It's in the past. Everyone dies.
Absolutely. But as far as I'm concerned, we're still waiting for the Battle of Marine. That's where we are in the present, folks. We're waiting patiently for the winds of winter to arrive. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, that was way more depressing. Listening to just the audio, don't you think?
Yeah. It's because we didn't have the rest of the soldiers.
Yeah, they made the
watching
scene
and going, "Oh, it's going to be something." Bollocks! No, it's not. Well, it's shite.
I think I'm going to go for a nap.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Is that rabbit roasted yet?
Oh dear, there's a joke in there about a hanky somewhere. I lost it. Oh dear. But yeah, so that scene isn't as fun on audio as it was to watch.
No.
But anyway, we laughed our way through it. And I think that made it worth leaving in. Right, so where are we next? Who are we talking about? What have we got? Jace and Bela, I think. I quite like Bela in this. It was...
Yeah.
And that's it. Jace and Bela.
I'm calling it here.
You might as well. We're 5 minutes off calling it time, so... Actually, looking at how much content we've still got to get through, I'm thinking we call this part 1 and release it in 2 digestible episodes as opposed to, I think we're going to hit 5 hours here. So let's call this part 1 and we will be back soon with part 2.
If you want to contact us, you can head over to our website at theunrealhour.com, where you can find links to our social media and Patreon to review, like, follow and subscribe. You can also leave us a voice message that we may use on the show. Finally, you can email us at talk@theunrealhour.com.
And if you like what we're doing here and you want to support the show, then you can visit patreon.com/theunrealhour, where you can subscribe for ad-free listening, early access episodes and exclusive content. Or you can buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/theunrealhour. All of your donations will go back into the show to cover costs and keep the lights on. Once again, thanks for listening. Until next time,
keep it unreal.